Let's start small but mighty. Meet the Australian Tiger Beetle. See that gold shell? He looks like fancy jewelry, right? Wrong. In the insect world, this guy is basically a glittery nightmare.
But here's the craziest part. He runs so fast that his eyes literally stop working. His brain just screams, I quit, and everything goes blurry. He actually goes blind while sprinting. He has to stop every 2 seconds just to let the map load.
And the legs? The ground is hot enough to cook a steak. So he uses stilt, built-in air conditioning. Genius! He doesn't have hands, he has these giant interlocking jaws. Imagine a pair of hydraulic bolt cutters attached to a race car. When it catches up to you, snap, it's game over. Let's check the speedometer. He clocks in at 9 kilometers per hour. Sounds like a casual jog? Nope. Scale him up to human size, and that becomes 700 kilometers per hour. He's basically a fighter jet taxiing on the ground. Be glad he's tiny. NASA engineers actually studied this guy. Why? Because our Mars rovers keep getting stuck. But this beetle, never. His feet grip the ground like he's glued to it. Nature really nailed the off-road design. Okay, look up. It's the Mexican free-tailed bat. Don't blink, or you'll miss him. He's zooming by at 160 kilometers per hour. I know, people think bats are spooky, but look at him. He's just a fuzzy little pilot with big ears. These guys hang out in groups of millions. It's the biggest party on Earth. Most bats flutter like butterflies. Not this one. Look at those wings. Long, narrow, stiff. That's the same shape as a stealth bomber. He's built for one thing: pure, raw speed. Here's the impressive part. He doesn't need to dive to go fast. He hits that crazy top speed strictly in a straight line. That's faster than you're allowed to drive on the highway, and he does it without an engine. Imagine flying that fast in pitch black darkness. Sounds like a disaster? Nah, he uses sound to see. It's like a super advanced radar that maps the world instantly. He can spot a mosquito from across the room. When they fly out of their cave, it's a chaotic river of millions, yet they never crash into each other. Humans can barely drive in traffic without bumping bumpers. We could really learn a thing or two from these guys. Get this, he weighs about the same as a single AAA battery, but that tiny little battery flies as fast as a bullet train. Talk about small but mighty. All right, let's hit the plains. This is the Pronghorn. He looks like a deer, acts like a goat, but runs like a supercar at 95 kilometers per hour. He's the second fastest runner on land, but unlike the cheetah, this guy just never stops running. How does he do it? Open the hood and you'll find a monster engine. Giant windpipe, massive heart. He sucks in oxygen like a vacuum cleaner to fuel those legs. He's an endurance machine. Here's a mystery. No wolf alive today can catch him, so why run so fast? Turns out he evolved to race the American cheetah, a predator that went extinct thousands of years ago. He's literally racing a ghost. He even has special racing gear. His fur is hollow, like thousands of tiny drinking straws. It makes him super lightweight and keeps him warm. Nature thought of everything. Watch him run. See that? He doesn't bounce like a bunny, he glides. It's so smooth you could balance a cup of water on his back. That's how he saves energy to run for miles. You can't sneak up on him. His eyes are so far apart, he has a 320-degree view. He can basically see his own butt without turning his head. Nothing hides from this guy. Now, let's climb high. Head to the mountains. Meet the golden eagle. With a 2-meter wingspan, he's the boss of the sky. He doesn't just fly, he patrols. And when he sees something tasty, it's showtime. When he wants to go fast, he transforms. He tucks his wings in tight, changing from a floating glider into a falling missile, reaching 240 kilometers per hour. He cuts through the air like a knife. And the grip? Oh boy, his claws can squeeze with 400 psi of pressure. That's 10 times stronger than your hand. Imagine shaking hands with the Hulk. Once he grabs on, he never lets go. His eyes are like binoculars. He can spot a tiny rabbit from 3 kilometers up in the sky. That's like reading a text message from across a football stadium. No privacy down here. Flying this fast can mess up your feathers, but check this out. His feathers have tiny zippers. If they get messy, he just zips them back together with his beak. Self-repairing armor. So cool!
He doesn't flap to reach top speed, he falls. It's a controlled crash. Imagine riding the world's steepest roller coaster straight down with no seatbelt. That's his daily commute.
All right, let's dive in. Meet the Sailfish. See that mohawk and that sword on his face? He looks like a punk rocker, but swims faster than a speedboat at 110 kilometers per hour.
The ocean is cold, which slows down your brain, but this guy has a heater installed right next to his eyes. It warms up his brain so he can think faster than the frozen fish he eats. Brain heater? Genius. That big sail looks cool, but it's terrible for racing. So when he hits the gas, he folds it down completely into a special slot on his back. He transforms into a torpedo instantly. Smooth.
He literally cheats at physics. His skin traps tiny bubbles to create a coat of air. He's not swimming in water, he's gliding inside a bubble shield. It's like an air hockey puck, zero friction. That nose isn't for stabbing, it's a sword. He slashes side to side so fast you can't even see it. Whack! He knocks the fish out cold before eating them. He's a ninja with a built-in katana. And when he gets excited, he lights up. Bright purple and blue stripes appear out of nowhere. It's his battle mode. He cuts through the waves like a hot knife through butter. Hold on, if the Sailfish is a sprinter, the black Marlin is a tank. We're talking 130 kilometers per hour, and he is huge, 700 kilograms of pure muscle, scarred, tough. He rules the deep.
Unlike the sailfish, this guy can't fold his fins. They stick out like stiff airplane wings. Why? Because he's so heavy he needs them for lift just to keep from sinking. It's heavy-duty engineering.
To move as heavy as a grand piano at 130 kilometers per hour, you don't need aerodynamics, you need raw power. One smack of his tail creates enough force to launch a boat. It's pure, brute strength. He accelerates so hard that he actually boils the water behind him. See that trail of white bubbles? That's cavitation. It looks like smoke from a race car doing a burnout underwater. Down in the deep, it's pitch black, but he has military-grade night vision eyes. He can spot the tiniest reflection off a tuna scale in the dark. Lights out for the prey, dinner time for the marlin. Physics says a fish this heavy shouldn't fly, but look at this. He launches his whole body out of the water with a massive splash. It's the ultimate flex, just showing everyone who's boss. Right, enough with the water. Back to solid ground. Time for the real celebrity, the cheetah. You know him, you love him. He's lean, he's mean, and he's built for one thing only, hitting a top speed of 120 kilometers per hour. He is the undisputed king of the sprint. Watch this. His body is shaking like crazy, but look at his head. Perfectly still. He has a biological gimbal in his neck. It keeps his eyes locked on the target while his body goes wild. Built-in image stabilization. Fun fact, his shoulders aren't connected to his skeleton. They float. This lets him stretch his front legs way out to take massive steps. It's like having extendable arms. But here's the tragedy. He put all his skill points into speed and barely any into strength. So when a heavy tank like a lion shows up, he has to abandon his loot and run. He does the work, the bully gets the meal. It's the ultimate kill steal. He's the only cat wearing permanent soccer cleats. His claws stay out to dig into the ground for grip. And his thumb? It's a hook. He uses it to trip the prey like a judo master. Total takedown. He's faster than a race car, but his radiator is broken. He can only sprint for 30 seconds. Any longer, and his brain starts to cook. He has to stop and pant just to vent the heat. Tough life. And finally, the ultimate champion, the Peregrine Falcon. He's not huge, but he falls from the sky at 320 kilometers per hour. That makes him the fastest animal on the planet, period.
At that speed, his wind should pop his lungs. But look inside his nose. See that little cone? It slows down the air. Jet engines copied this exact design. He's the original prototype for supersonic flight.
Time to dive. He tucks his wings, shrugs his shoulders, and hides his feet. He transforms into a perfect teardrop. Physics says this is the fastest shape in the universe. Who are we to argue? He doesn't grab, he punches. He curls his talons into a rock-hard fist and pow! The Falcon Punch. It's a 300 kilometers per hour drive-by knockout. The prey doesn't even know what hit it.
Everything moves in slow motion for him. His eyes are super fast. While we see a blur, he can track a falling bird with pixel-perfect accuracy. He's running at a higher frame rate than us. When he pulls out of a dive, he pulls 25 Gs. A human fighter pilot passes out at 9 Gs. This bird is literally tougher than a fighter jet. Respect the hardware.